Good day everyone, my name is Jericho Arad and today I'll be talking about the parts of a flower and its functions. So, what I have here is a flower known as Sulfur Cosmos, with its scientific name being Cosmos sulphurus. Now this flower is native in Mexico, Central America, and Northern South America. But anyways, let's enumerate all the flower parts first. The parts that are not gender related are petals, nectar, sepals, receptacle, and stem, while the male parts of a flower is called stamen and its parts being the anther and filament. And the female parts of a flower is called carpel, with its parts being the stigma, style, ovary, and ovule. So let's start discussing about the non-gender related parts of the flower. Let's start with its stem. So, the stem transports water and nutrients up from the roots all the way to the leaves, and the stem transports sugars from the leaves to the rest of the plant. Stem supports the leaves, flowers, and fruits. Next is the receptacle right here. The receptacle is a thickened top portion of the pedicel that connects to the flower's base. This part supports the flower and holds the floral whorls. Now the next are the sepals right here. You see these leaves extending? Those are the sepals. The sepals are small modified leaves located around the base of a flower. Sepals support the flower and provide protection to the other flower parts while the flower is closed before and after pollution. So the next is the nectary. The nectary is a plant gland in many angiosperms that secretes nectar. Floral nectaries are usually located at the base of the flower stamens, male structures, which draw animal visitors such as hummingbirds, bees, and butterflies into contact with the pollen to be transferred for pollution. Next part of the flower is one of the most known one, which is the petal. The petals are modified leaves that help attract pollinators to the flower. Petals are often large and brightly colored and may have pattern of colors in the ultraviolet spectrum, which can be seen by insects even though it is invisible to the human eye. Interestingly, petals' bright colors and patterns may have evolved to send a signal to the pollinators saying this way to the food. The stamens are the male part of a flower that produces pollen. The job of the stamen is to ensure the pollen is gently attached to the pollinators' bodies as they visit the flower to drink nectar. Each stamen has two main parts. One is the anther, the top portion of the stamen which contains pollen, and the filament, a short stalk supporting the anther. The anther can be the one at the top, while the filament can be the support for the anther. While the carpel is a female part of a flower that receives pollen. Primarily, the carpel awaits for pollen to be tracked onto it by a pollinator as it travels from flower to flower. The carpel has three main parts. So the first one is the stigma. The stigma is the tip of the carpel that receives the pollen, while style is a tube connecting the stigma to the ovary. Genetic material travels from the stigma down to the style and to the ovary. The ovary is the part of the carpel that develops into a fruit after pollination. The ovary contains ovules which develop into seeds. So I'd like to enumerate the parts of the flowers once more. The first part being the petals, the nectary, the sepals, the receptacle, and the stem. Stamen and its parts are the anther and the filament, which is at the top, and the carpel with its parts being the stigma, style, ovary, and ovule being at this part. I hope you learned a lot while watching this video, and if you'd like more information contents, then stay tuned with us. See you!